The novel starts in London in the old curiosity shop who sells a lot of curious things, of all shapes and sizes. In this shop was a poor old man sitting at the room with his granddaughter, Neil. They start to talk. The old man said that he is sad because Neil passed all her time taking care of him. He said that he doesn't want her to be poor and die young as her mother. Then Kit, that was working for them, arrives and tells the old man that he delivered the letter to Mr. Quill. Then he goes to his house. Every night the old man leaves Neil and he goes all the night. He doesn't tell him where, but he always returns in the morning. A week later, Fred, the brother of Neil, entered to the shop because he wants to see his sister. But the old man told him that he is not welcome at the shop and to leave. Fred told his grandfather that he is a liar, and he only pretends to love Neil, but he only wants her to work and to make bigger the piles of money that he is hiding. They continue discussing. Fred said that he will go more often to the shop to see his sister, and he left. Then Mr. Clue appeared and started talking with the old man about the investments where the old man is putting Mr. Quill's money. Then Mr. Quill left the store. Richard Swiveller lived in a small rent room above the shop. One night, Fred visited him. They were friends. They started talking about Neil. Fred suggested to Mr. Swiveller to marry Neil. The conversation continued. At first, Richard did not think Fred's idea was good. However, the truth is that he is poor, but if he married Neil, he can become rich. Mr. Quill did not have one particular job.
Nell was worried about her grandfather's breakdown due to intense stress and agitation and the feeling that no one is by his side. She stares at the window and watches her only company. She constantly thinks in things that can happen to her grandfather. Late at night, she prays and cries to her father's recuperation. On the third visit, he tells her that if Mr. Culp doesn't help him with money, they will be ruined. Nell states she rather live as beggars than living the life they do now. She begs grandfather to keep her ignorant. She wants to start a new life. Quilp didn't give the money. Now he knows the grandfather's secret. He knows he's a gambler, but he said it was all for Nell. It occurred to him now how little he had saved after he had sent his grandson to the sea. The grandfather asked for another loan. He thought this time he would win because of a dream he had before. He asked Culp to consider Nell, but Culp refused. He said he had been fooled many times and for many reasons. The grandfather wanted to know who betrayed him, but Quilp doesn't want to admit that he found out of Nenny, because it will force him to reveal how he tricked her. The grandfather believes that Quilp had gotten Kit to betray him, and Quilp allows him to believe that. He leaves the grandfather's shop. Mr. Quilp sent an express to the wharf for the tumbling boy. The legal gentleman, whose melodious name was Brass, he didn't have a good repute. Mr. Quilp had 1,000 reasons for conciliating his good opinion, so he tried to smile. The grandfather started to recover, but really slow. Still, his mind is really affected. Quilp visits and tells him the goods are about to be sold, and they need to find another place. The grandfather begs Nell to forgive him. Nell didn't think neither consider the hunger, cold, or thirst they were going to experience. She prepares to leave and say goodbye to everything around her. She and her grandfather embarked with no destination in mind. They were so happy to live their old life and start a new one.
Nell and the old man are next befriended by Mrs. Jarley, owner of a waxwork, but the grandfather's passion for gambling causes them to leave their benefactor. He was going to try and steal Miss Jarley's money, but Nell didn't give him a chance. At last, a schoolmaster, on his way to fill a new post, takes them under his wing. Under the schoolmaster's guidance, The girl and her grandfather are established in a little town as caretakers of a church. Their duties are very light because the church has a regular sexton as well. Meanwhile, the only friend little Nell and her grandfather had left behind in London is a poor boy named Kid Nobles. He is attempting to find them, but is hampered by the enmity of Quilp, and by the fact that he has to help to support his widowed mother and 2 other children. In addition, Quilp, who has an unreasonable hatred for anyone honest, is trying to find little Nell to wed her to one of her brother's worthless companions. This worthless companion, Dick Swiveller, is a clerk in the office of Quilp's unscrupulous lawyer, Sampson Bress.